This book presents life-changing ideas through a dialogue between a philosopher and a young man, exploring the teachings of Adlerian psychology. Unlike Freud or Jung, Alfred Adler focused on the idea that the past does not control our future. The core message? Happiness comes from living authentically and courageously, even if it means being disliked by others. The book offers a roadmap for freeing ourselves from approval-seeking and finding joy through contribution. The first night, the philosophy of Adler. The philosopher introduces the concept that we are not victims of our past. Just because you've experienced pain or failure doesn't mean you are destined for an unhappy future. The past does not exist. Only the present matters. The young man struggles with this idea. Like many of us, he believes that past traumas define who he is today. But Adlerian psychology argues that people cling to their trauma as a way to avoid responsibility. Imagine someone saying, "I can't trust people because I was betrayed." This belief protects them from trying again. The problem is it also traps them in fear. The first lesson is this: change is always possible if you change the way you think. Your present actions, not past wounds, determine your future. The second night, the courage to be disliked. Living freely means giving up the need for constant approval from others. The philosopher explains that seeking everyone's approval makes you a prisoner. You'll always worry about what others think. No matter how hard you try, someone will dislike you. And that's okay. Think of life as a stage performance. You'll never please every single member of the audience. Some will love your act, and others will criticize it. But the real tragedy is if you try to please everyone and lose yourself in the process. Having the courage to be disliked allows you to act in line with your values, not others' expectations. This is where true freedom lies. The third night, the separation of tasks. One of the most liberating ideas in this book is the separation of tasks. Many of us waste emotional energy worrying about things we can't control, like how others perceive us. Your task is to act. Others' task is to respond. The philosopher explains that when you stop interfering with others' tasks, you become emotionally free. If someone dislikes you, that's their task to deal with, not yours. Think about the last time you were upset because someone criticized you. Was it really your responsibility to make them happy? The key takeaway is this: focus only on what's in your control. Let go of the rest. The fourth night, the courage to be happy. Happiness is not a result of success, fame, or wealth. It comes from living in the present and finding meaning in what you do today. Many of us say, "I'll be happy once I achieve my goal," but this mindset makes happiness conditional, and it never arrives. Happiness is the byproduct of living authentically and contributing to others. The philosopher urges the young man to stop waiting for happiness and create it by acting with purpose now. What if happiness isn't the destination, but the path itself? If you act today with joy and meaning, you are already happy. The fifth night, the meaning of life. The book offers a refreshing take on life's meaning. There is no objective meaning of life. You create your own meaning through your actions. It's not about what you achieve, but what you give. Instead of focusing on grand goals, the philosopher encourages us to find small ways to contribute every day. It might be through kindness, a helping hand, or just showing up for someone in need. Imagine a barista who brings joy to customers through small acts of kindness. They might not win awards or fame, but their life is rich with meaning. The lesson? You don't need to be extraordinary to live a meaningful life. The sixth night, the world of interpersonal relationships. The philosopher makes a bold statement. All problems are interpersonal problems. If you struggle with anxiety, insecurity, or frustration, the root of these issues often lies in how you interact with others. Comparison is the thief of joy. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you lose sight of your own value. To live peacefully, shift your mindset from competition to contribution. Instead of asking, "How can I be better than others?" ask, "How can I help others grow?" Imagine how freeing it would be if you no longer felt the need to impress anyone. How much lighter would life feel? Conclusion: the courage to change. The final night is about taking responsibility for change. We often resist change because it's uncomfortable. It's easier to say, "This is just who I am," than to admit, "I have the power to grow." Real change begins the moment you stop blaming your circumstances. The young man finally understands. Courage is required not only to be disliked, but also to change. The past does not define him. He can shape his future by making conscious choices today. What's one change you can make today that would lead to a happier, more meaningful life?